Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back to Front Row 2021. We're going to waste no time here. We're going to jump straight into it. We've got some Q&A with the man, Chris Do. Chris, how are you, my friends?
Good to see you.
That's good. What's new with you? Firstly, what time is it where you are? And what's your day been like so far?
Yes, it's 3:44 p.m. It's feeling pretty good. I've done a couple of pieces of content and I watched an episode or two of Mr. Robot.
What's Mr. Robot? I heard my Tom in the background's just like giving me a big like thumbs up. What is it on Netflix? Is it like some sort of series?
Yeah, it originally aired, I think, on the USA Network, and it's with Remy Malek and Christian Slater.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. There you go.
Cyber hacking stuff, you know.
Yeah, interesting. Do you have a favorite sitcom?
I don't usually watch sitcoms.
Well, all right. Do you have a favorite TV show, movie?
Yes, I do. I love Game of Thrones. I don't love the way it ended, but I do love Game of Thrones.
All right. I'm sure people will definitely agree with you there. All right, cool. So, Chris, we're just going to have a super casual conversation today. We're going to call it the Jazz Chat with Chris Do.
Okay.
In the background, we're going to be playing some jazz music. We might not be able to hear that, but that's okay. And we have some people that we're going to bring on to actually chat to you first. But I have a few questions for you. They're some funny ones, but we'll give them a shot anyway. So I'm just going to dive right into it. Question number one is, if you were stuck on a deserted island, what two items do you bring with you to keep the future running? And by the future, I mean the future without the E.
Deserted island? I mean, are we being practical?
You can, yeah, sure. You can have Wi-Fi because, you know, we're still got to do this thing digital.
Yeah.
And a laptop. You can have a laptop, you have Wi-Fi. What are the two other things you bring to keep the business going?
Okay. All I need is a camera and a microphone. That's it.
What if you didn't have a laptop?
I would need a laptop.
You would need a laptop.
Yeah, or like a tablet or something like that.
Okay.
It's a digital world, man.
It is. It is. Do you think we'll continue using laptops, or do you think, like, you know how the iPad's kind of like brand is to like, you know, just like ditch the laptop or the computer altogether? Do you think that's where we're heading?
I think we're getting close, yeah. And it's entirely up to Apple because it's just an issue of software, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I got one more question for you, then we're going to jump into some questions from people. What's the lowest you've ever charged for a project?
Free.
Free. How many times?
Actually, technically, truthfully, I paid for work before because when I take on projects that are poorly funded, I actually pay for it. So that would be the lowest.
True.
And when we work on music videos, we usually pay for them.
Fair enough. How many like free sort of projects have you done before?
Probably under a dozen in my lifetime.
Yeah. Was it worth it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
In the beginning. I don't do free work anymore, but yeah.
Awesome. Sweet. All right. So last question before we jump into some people. You obviously ran a branding agency before the future. Is that still going, or is that kind of like closed up and your sole focus now is the future in creating education?
For all intents and purposes, it's closed down, but the entity is still illegal. There's still legal status. You know, I think we're going to file taxes maybe this year, but of no income.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Was that transition between those two businesses, was it like just a jump from one or the other, or was it quite a smooth transition over time? And more importantly, when did you decide that, okay, this kind of agency work, like I don't want to focus on that anymore and I just want to go full in on my passion of education?
Yeah, so the Future started in 1995, and I think officially we stopped doing work as the Future in 2018. The Future, I'm sorry, like I was saying, Blind started in 1995. The Future started in 2014, so there was some technically 2016. There was some overlap of about 2 years. Gotcha. And so I try to design my business to gradually flow from one to the next. so that there isn't a harsh transition. And so
Interesting.
I think in December of 2018, we stopped taking on client work, and we haven't done client work in 2 years and 4 months or something.
Nice. Awesome. Well, that's all the questions from me. I know there's a bunch of people lined up who are ready to speak to you and get some advice from you, Chris. So first up, we have Josh, if you can hear me. Josh, you there, mate? He's muted in the channel. He's one of our guys. He might be sleeping because we were up so late last night. All right, we'll get Fergie in. Oh, wait, no, we've got Josh. Now we've got Josh and Fergie.
2 for 1.
I like it. Let's keep them both.
Yeah, look, sorry, I just woke up and I don't have any questions.
Little bit of a background, Chris. Josh is with us this week at Front Row, and we were up to like, 1:30, 2 a.m. last night, and we got here at like 6 a.m. So we're all kind of like sleep deprived. So that's why Josh is floating in this call.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
All right, Fergie, do you have a question for Chris?
Yeah, hi Chris.
Hi, Fergie.
So I just wanted to ask, what tips and advice would you give to somebody who is basically trying to move out of corporate world, do it on their own, build their clients, but not just build a client base, also do a kind of course offering? So I'm kind of wanting to gain clients to do the design that I love doing, but also teach the design that everybody wants to learn about, right? Everybody wants to be a UX designer. What advice would you maybe give me?
Okay. I just want to make sure I heard that clearly. You want to create a course and be an author, a teacher? Is that what I heard? Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you taught before?
Yes, I have. I've been teaching in person for clients of the consultancies that I work for. It's something that I created and just, saw a gap, so I started doing.
Perfect.
But I want to do it for myself.
Okay. So you have experience teaching. Do you have a brand and a brand awareness outside of your corporate job?
I have some. It's something I've been growing over the past year. Yeah, I'd say it's not.
much is
it's
some?
not. It's not huge. I don't think I have a huge brand awareness or following at the moment. I have 1,000 Instagram followers, a few hundred on YouTube, things like that.
Okay. Do you have a target in mind where you think, yeah, if I hit that number, I would feel pretty comfortable marketing to those people?
No, which might be the wrong answer, but no.
No, there's no wrong answers. It's just questions to see where you're at. So typically, if you want to do some research online to say, how often do my followers convert into customers? And you're going to find a staggering low percentage. Staggering. So if you got 10,000 followers on Instagram, you might convert just a few percentage points. So what you want to do is you want to do the math. So here's what I would suggest that you do, okay? I'm going to take a very pragmatic business approach and not so philosophical. You would start with how much money you need to make a month. Do you know what that number is?
Yes, I have a burn chart, like a burn rate.
Okay, you have a burn rate? Okay, you don't have to tell me your burn rate, but can you tell me the number you'd like to hit a month that would make you feel pretty comfortable that you could leave your corporate job?
Each month?
Yes?
I need to hit about 4,000.
Okay. If you hit 4,000, are you going to survive or are you going to thrive?
It's more than surviving.
Well, let's put a thrival number on that then. Let's up the number a little bit higher.
Okay. A thrival number, I don't know, we'll double it. That would be like living my best life.
8K?
8K, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So 8K. And if you were to put a price tag on a course that you're going to teach, how much do you think the market will bear in terms of they'll pay you to teach them this thing?
I'm still researching, I think.
Well, for the sake of our conversation,
But
just make up a
yeah,
number.
so for the sake of this, maybe so that it's still affordable, it could be like
Ryan, we can hear you. I don't know if you know.
Sorry, I'm just chatting on the back end with my team.
Yeah,
Go on,
it's not so
sorry.
much back channel. We can hear you. Okay, so let's keep going here, right? So,
Sure.
how much did you say?
Let's say 500. Or
500. Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense. Okay, so if we do the math, you'd have to sell 16 courses, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think 16 times 500 is 8,000.
I'm gonna go with you.
Is my
Maths
math
is not
okay?
my strong point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it
we'll
is.
pretend
So 2 times 500 is 1,000. And so you need 16. So you have to sell 16 courses. See how like real, you gotta just break it down. And so it's just real easy to get your head wrapped around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now you have to sell 16 courses per month. And so then you have to generate enough number of leads. So let's say that if you are able to convert 10% of your leads, your prospects, into customers, you would have to multiply that number times 10. So you'd have to have 160 people attend a webinar, a free demo, or something that you're doing in order to convert. And 10% is a pretty decent conversion ratio. So if it's higher or lower than that, then you need more or less people. And then who are these people who are going to show up to your webinar? And so then you have to say, out of the 20,000 people follow me on Instagram, maybe 160 will show up each time I ask them to attend a free webinar. So you start working backwards like that. Okay.
That's good. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to stand up a sales page. It's going to be just one long sales page. And you'll probably call it something like UX design workshop, something masterclass, something like that. So that it's very clear and it's SEO friendly. Don't call it something weird. Don't get too creative here. Okay.
Okay.
Make sense so far?
Yeah.
And then on that sales page, you're going to describe to people the 3 or so benefits of learning UX design. And then you're going to address their top 3 objections. Do you know what objections are?
The kind of goals they want to achieve, or that they would achieve.
That's objectives. Objection
Objectives,
is
okay.
why they don't want to work with you. Like, it's too much money. I don't trust you. How long will it take? So you need to know what those objections are, and then you need to just answer in the copy that you write on your sales page, right?
Okay.
So far, so good? Then you're going to say
that's a good one.
the class launches sometime in the future. Let's just say a month or so. And then you can say early bird registration, save 35%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, if you can sell enough of these early bird registrations, then you don't have to deal with any other marketing. You're good to go. So if for whatever reason, when you open up the class and you sell, $8,000 worth of people taking this class at 35% off, you know you have a hit on your hand. Now, if you don't know what copy to write, and if you're not selling or generating enough traffic, then that's telling you what the new problem is. Either the copy on your website is not clear, it's not interesting enough, or you just don't have enough brand awareness, and that'll let you know. So before anybody here creates a course, before you go and record, edit, and work through all this stuff, try to just do a pre-launch and offer people a pretty sizable discount for acting early. Just to see if the market's
Should that
interested.
be like a limited space type thing as like a tester?
It's limited by time. So for example, early bird only lasts for 1 week, and so that people have 1 week to decide.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. So there's some urgency behind it. And you could also add an additional layer of scarcity by saying that I'm only reserving 20 seats for people in the early bird. So that's now a compounded sense of urgency and scarcity. So I'll tell you how this works. So when I launched my first class, when I taught typography, I told everybody the introductory price is something like $99, after which it'll be $150. And without even writing a single piece of content except for an outline, we were able to sell tens of thousands of dollars in terms of pre-registrations. And when the thing went live, I think we sold $100,000 of people for the class. And then I'm like, oh, we have people interested in class. I better get working on writing the class. And that's how I launched my first 6-figure class. Kind of like that.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
That's amazing, actionable advice. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Good
Awesome.
luck.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks so
You're
much,
welcome.
Fergie, for an amazing question. All right, Chris, you ready for another one?
Yes, but we're getting double audio now.
We're getting double audio. Okay, we'll see if we can
Yeah.
fix that on.
There we go. You got
Should be
it. now.
fixed. All right, sweet.
It's fixed.
All right, let's bring on Anna. Anna, how are you? Wait for her to unmute.
Oh, now I don't hear anything.
Maybe we bring on Jackie, Tom? Jackie, are you there? Can you hear me? He can't hear me. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Technical difficulties, you gotta love them. Jackie, are you there? She
Yeah.
was.
Yes, I'm
How
here.
you going?
Can you see me?
Yes,
Oh,
we
there
got
we
ya. There we go.
Hi.
Awesome.
Oh,
How
so
are you?
excited. I'm fine, and you guys?
She's just cutting out a little bit there.
I can hear
I'm
her.
here.
You
Hi.
got
I
it?
got up.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi. Hi, Chris. Nice to meet you. Finally.
Good, good to meet you. I can't see you though, but I can hear you.
You can see me? I'm here.
Not yet. Maybe they haven't
Yeah,
done it
it'll come
so
up
that
in
I
a
can see
sec.
you.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I'll pop up pretty soon.
Do you have a question for Chris, Jackie?
yeah, I do. Well, I have like 1,000, but I'll try to make it as quick as
just make it
possible.
one. Just take 1,000 and remove 3 zeros, and you'll be good.
Chris, I'm a graphic designer, but I have specialized in branding strategy for over a year now. I have been lucky enough to have worked with a few branding strategy projects. And this year I decided to niche down into. I'm having trouble niching down. Basically, that has been my issue. I want to target clients that kind of like you, but without the design part. You know, like people that are interested and that believe understand the true value of education, and that they want to spread ideas and help people understand throughout their teachings how they can do something to improve the world. That's kind of the niche I'm after. But I'm a little bit like I'm all over the place. I don't know
Yeah.
how to target that audience, how to start developing content for that audience, you know. So
Okay.
I mean, whatever kind of advice you comes to your mind, that would be amazing.
Okay. For some reason, your audio is a little bit on the low side for me. Is there anything you could do to improve your audio? I'll use my full concentration just to be able to hear you. Ryan, did you get the same thing? Like it's hard to hear her?
Yeah, a little bit
I'm
low,
so sorry.
Jackie. Are you able
Yeah, a
to
little bit
summarize that
low.
question again for like 10 seconds?
I think I got it
Okay.
actually.
You got
I'm
it?
just saying that.
All right.
Yeah, I got it. So let's see. It was a kind of a roundabout question, Jackie. So one of the things you want to do is moving forward, try to just like figure out your question before you get the mic, okay? But it sounded like, here's what I heard. You're a graphic designer, you moved into brand strategy, and the challenge you're having is niching down, and you're not quite sure what to do there, and you want to get into the education space possibly, but you don't know how to reach your audience. And so that's kind of where the question dissipate for me, and it started to have a difficult time getting my head or my hands around the question. Do you need help in finding an audience, or how to become? Those are possible questions.
Sorry, I didn't hear the second question.
Okay, I heard potentially 3 questions there. I need help with niching, I need help with finding an audience, or I need help becoming an educator.
Finding the audience.
Finding an audience.
Yeah.
Okay, finding an audience is a vital step. Okay, you want to teach brand strategy? Is that what you want to teach?
No, I want to do brand strategy, like develop it.
Oh, okay. So what do you want to teach?
I wanted to teach it, but a lot of people are tired of online courses and stuff like that. So I want to provide the service and develop
What service do you want to
workshops.
provide?
Branding strategy.
Oh, okay. But are we? This is where like I'm running around in circles here. You need help in finding an audience, right?
Yeah, like
For
audience
teaching
that-
or for doing work?
people that are educators. I want to target people that are into education, help them develop their brand.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to help educators create courses?
Basically basically help them with their brand. If it's through courses, workshops, whatever they do, just help them with that.
Okay. So you want to help to do the branding and identity system for educators?
Yeah.
What kind of educators?
That's where it becomes tricky, because I don't want to target any type of, the typical gurus or stuff like that. I really want to target people that believe that the power of education can actually change the world.
Everybody believes that.
But do you really think that everybody believes that?
I really
beyond
do.
money?
I believe every educator thinks that they want to change the world. Yes.
Okay.
You might not believe it, but they believe it.
No, I do. That's why I want to target them.
Right. So that's not enough of a filter. It's like saying, I only want to
Okay.
work with people that are alive.
Okay.
Yeah. So we need to narrow it down.
Okay. We could say people like sort of, I don't know. That's where I've been stuck, like.
Well, let's make one
I
brave
wanna
decision today. Let's narrow
Okay.
it down by half. Do you
Okay.
want to work with men or do you want to work with women?
I think women,
Okay. You want to work with young women or old women?
young,
Okay. Do you want in the arts, in the science, in the humanities? Where do you want to focus?
humanities.
Okay. In humanities, I mean like philosophy things, right?
Yeah, and arts, art philosophy.
No. Okay. You want to
Sorry.
focus on the sciences, the humanities, or the arts?
No, then arts.
Okay.
Okay.
You want the visual or the performing arts?
Visual.
Okay. You want it to be like static or dynamic in terms of visual arts, like moving cinema, motion graphics, or still print?
Still.
Still. Okay.
Mhm.
You see, we made a lot of hard decisions today.
Yeah, I can see that.
Was that hard?
It has been for a few years.
No, I mean this part. Was this part hard?
No, this part it suddenly became easy.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. So here's what I got. In what country do you want to focus in on?
I live in Mexico, so I would like to start here.
Okay, South America?
Central. It's think it's
Central. I'm sorry. Yeah, Central
Yeah.
America. My bad. I'm spacing
worry.
out here. Okay. So you want to work with educators who are female, young female, and who want to teach visual arts like painting, illustration, and design that are
Yes.
from Central America.
Mhm.
There's your audience.
Okay.
Go find out everything you can about these people.
Where can I find everything about them?
I think there's some research that you can do to find
Mhm.
groups. Like, I might start looking into anything that they might have in common, where they went to school, what trade organizations they might belong to, and why don't
Okay.
you try and find them and follow them and then watch what they do?
Okay.
They exist out there. Teachers unions, those kinds of things. Okay.
Okay.
Are they okay? Here, I'll help you right now. Are these women teaching in university or grade school?
University.
Okay. Private or public?
Both, I think, but I would rather go into private, probably.
Private?
Yeah.
Okay. How many private universities have art departments in Mexico?
Like to say a quick number right now, I could say like 6 or 7, maybe.
See, that's where you go.
Okay.
You just go to these universities and find out. You find out about the program, who's teaching it, and then you get their names from the directory. Like most schools publish a curriculum and who teaches, like an about staff, and then you look them up on
Mhm.
Instagram and on Behance, and then you follow them, and then you kind of pay attention to what the heck they're, and then relationship with them, and you ask them things. Have you ever thought about teaching a course online as part of building a passive income business?
Okay.
Perhaps I can help you with your branding and identity. And here's one problem: if you pick people in the visual arts that are designers, do they want to hire another designer to do their design? So that's the question.
That's why I want to focus on strategy more than the design part.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Mhm.
So when you do brand strategy, what are you going to help them do? What's the result of the work you do?
Basically structure their brand, make it cohesive. Like, I don't know if that.
But isn't that just
correctly.
design?
No, because here's it's not only for design; it's also for marketing purposes. Like I'm breaking the common ground for everything they need in order to launch their business or improve their business.
Okay. So what kind of impact do you create for them?
I help them structure the communications and help them make the communications like consistent.
Okay, let me
every
rephrase
channel
the
they make.
question.
Okay.
Okay. Not what do you do? What kind of impact do you create?
From experience, I can tell you that I help them kind of improve their sales.
Okay.
Somehow.
What else?
I make them more confident with the product or service that they're developing.
How do you do that?
By helping them understand their product from a different set of eyes, like they haven't seen some stuff, you know.
Okay.
Like
That's a bold
pointing
claim,
them
though.
into the. Okay.
Okay. I would just focus on sales.
Okay.
Okay. That's plenty. Yeah. I'll help you increase sales to your course by designing you a marketing funnel and helping you to design a sales page that gets results, that communicates the benefits, et cetera, et cetera. You would kind of do for them what I'm doing for you now. Find an audience, zero in, learn how to speak to them, those kinds of things.
Yes.
Okay?
Awesome. Jackie,
Did I answer your
thank you so
question?
much for your question.
Thank you, Chris. It was great.
Okay,
meeting
you're
you.
very welcome.
Awesome. Amazing. Chris, do we have time for one more?
I think you run the show, Ryan.
Well, I say yes then. We have brought back in Anna. Hopefully she's there.
Okay.
That's a good sign. I see her video. Hey Anna, how are you?
I hear a sound. Yes.
Hi
Hello.
everyone.
Hi, Anna.
Hi Chris.
Hi. Do you have a question for me?
Yes, I do.
What's your question?
So the question I have for you today isn't really advice on my career, but more I want to actually hear about your experience and your path. Yeah, I'm hearing Ryan in the background and I'm hearing Chris.
I can only hear you, so keep going.
Okay, awesome. So there's a quote that I've heard that success is rooted in your daily routine. So I wanted to know if there was any part of your daily routine from your early start of your career that you have carried out up until today.
Yes. Let me just write this down. Okay. So you want to know about my daily routine in terms of things that I've used from early on in my career till now, right?
Exactly.
Okay. One thing that I want to tell you, it begins with a mindset, which is to be really curious about things, to have an insatiable appetite to learn. And it's what's driven me through my years in school and after I got out of school and started my business and even in work. I'm a really curious person. I like to know, and I don't want to know things on a surface level. I like to know things like by only going on a deep dive like a dolphin. And when I was building my company, I wanted to learn about computers and how networks are built, and so I learned that. And then when I wanted to learn about motion design, I read books and magazines, and I talked to people. I studied videos. I really lost myself in this work, and I was so excited to learn. And I think to this day, even now, I'm almost 50 years old today, or this year, and when I do work, I try to find maybe a new way of doing that work. Like if I do anything that feels repetitive, I want to build an action script. I want to search online like best way to fill in the blank. And I find that over the course of your lifetime, every time you find new, smarter way of doing something, you shave off seconds and minutes of every time you do that task. And over the course of a lifetime, it can add up to be a pretty significant amount. And so if you ever were to watch me work, you'll see that my hands and my the mouse and the keyboard move really fast because I know the shortcuts and I know how to work and I know how to think and organize things. And so that really comes in handy when you're under the gun and you have to do work really, really fast. And so I would say that that's part of my life. Now you can't see this, but all behind me right here, to my right, to my left, are a stack of books. And I'm surrounded by books because books are the key to learning. And so you see, like, I'm gonna hold up a couple books just to prove it to you, right? So here are 3 books right next to me that I have to read, one of which I'm finished, but the other 2, I need to get through them. And that's just what's on my left-hand side. To my right, it's another stack of books. And then behind me on the floor, everywhere around me. And so I think if you can be a life learner, you'll do really well for yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. It's been an experience and an honor to be able to ask this question to you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Front Row.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for staying up really late, I think. It looks like the darkest of night there.
I actually just left. I'm going to say that as a yes.
All right, that's cool.
All right, Chris, we've got a special guest for this one. You probably know him. His name is Dane Walker.
Oh, hey.
And
How's
he's
it
got
going,
a
buddy?
question from you. For you. I'm going to give him an AirPod.
Hey, Chris. What's up, man?
Hey, get closer to that mic. I can barely hear you.
What's up, Chris? Can you hear me now? I'll let you have that one. Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I can hear you.
I'll keep it nice and close. Hello again, my friend. Hey, I have a question. I'm in the middle of expanding our agency, and I'm just having some questions around like hiring. How do you decide when you have multiple roles that need to be filled? How do you decide which one to prioritize? And yeah, I'm just a bit stuck with just trying to figure out, do we need another copywriter, another marketer, or another designer or web developer? And it's just a bit tricky with the expansion.
Yeah, there's a couple ways to look at this. And in fact, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing a talk with my friend Adam Morgan from Adobe about how to scale your agency, whether you're working in-house and scaling a team, or if you're an independent creative, which is more you than the other person. So definitely tune in for that. It's an hour-long conversation about this. So I'll give you what I think you need to hear at this current stage in your development here. The way I like to think about employees and people that you hire is, if it's structured well, whoever you hire should generate money for you. So if you have to pay someone, say $50,000 in an annual salary, they need to generate $100,000 for you in terms of revenue. Probably more than that because of how things work, right? And so when you're looking at hiring the next person, you have to ask yourself, am I hiring this person? Are they going to be a financial strain to us, or are they going to help our company grow? And so then you generally look at people who have billable hours that you can assign to a project that will generate revenue for the company and hopefully profit for you and everyone else. And so I kind of look at it like that. So if you can't yet figure out how to make money on this person, then it's going to be a financial strain, and it's going to be a strain on your relationship as well. So if you want to hire a writer, make sure that writer is going to be busy enough that you can bill out more than what you're paying them. Because otherwise, if you do that too many times, you're going to go bankrupt really quick.
Yeah, I guess I'm in a situation where we have a lot of work in the pipeline, probably too much, and we can certainly. I'm in a financial position to hire a few people, and I guess I'm apprehensive because I don't want to. Again, I've been going good for 8 months where clients are coming in very consistently, so there's that fear in the back of my mind, like, oh, if I like, I'm scared of like overhiring, if you will, but then the other part of me believes that, well, I know if I go out and hustle, I can make enough sales to fulfill that, if that makes sense. So I think it's fear as well. It's
a natural fear, and it's a real fear, and I have that fear. And even though I have money to pay for these things, I also don't want to spend money foolishly. It's not fear. Where let's say you have $100,000 in a bank and you could coast on that for a while, but if you hire someone for $50K and they do not a lot of good work for you, you just gave that hard-earned money, and it's hard to earn money, to someone to do nothing. And that's not their fault, it's your fault, because it's a poor management decision, and that's what you are right now, right? And so I like to think of it like, if you can find someone to do work that you know you can convert into a real business opportunity and grow your business, then I would do it with some confidence. Some things that you can do with a new hire, because it's always tricky when you hire people. You never know who shows up, not just the first week, but week after week and month after month. So you could tell them that I'm going to I'm going to hire you, and it's going to be a month-to-month basis, and we're going to keep evaluating each other until we know it's going to really work. And when I do, then I'll offer you a full-time position in which then you have some job security over it. But let's just try this out and be kind of tenuous about making too big of a commitment at the beginning. And so when things start to like feel like it's not working, you can say, okay, look, as we previously agreed, I'm only going to book you to the end of this month. I have some other things that have changed in my life, and I'm not going to be able to keep you after this month. And so that's cool. And that's the way it works.
I like that. I think that's not something I'd even considered. But I guess that would put someone in a position where they'd really have to prove themselves rather than having the luxury of, oh, I got the job, it's all sweet.
Yeah, I just think it's a matter of just being honest with each other. And it's not just for them to prove themselves, it's for you to prove that you are who you say you are. Right? Like, are you a good boss? Do you provide leadership and mentorship? Is it a safe working environment? Are you being creatively challenged? And so it protects both parties. We don't say we meet somebody and we're just going to marry them for the rest of our lives. It's like we go through a courtship period where we get to know each other. I guess it's called dating now. And then you date each other, and after a while you make a commitment on a proposed date. And if that works and you get to that date and you're not fighting and trying to kill each other, then you might want to tie the knot and make it official. I think the same goes with work relationships. Now, in case somebody's listening to this and saying, well, are you taking advantage of the person, or are you, what's going on there, right? Again, I think it's very important for you as a potential employee, freelancer, that you don't just jump at the first job. You want to find the right job, because the right job allows you to grow and scale way beyond what you're being paid. And so you want to find someone who's going to challenge you, who's going to give you responsibilities, also has room for you to grow up into the position and beyond the position. And so I think it's mutual. It protects both parties.
Really sound advice. Thank you, Chris.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate you. I'll pass you back to Ryan.
Awesome. And I'm back. Awesome. Hey, Chris, we'll wrap up here. Thank you so much for joining us for the past 45 minutes to an hour. Is there any like golden nugget piece of advice that you'd just give to anyone in general? Like, what's your like go-to? You probably get asked this all the time, but is there like a go-to piece of advice that you give people?
Yeah, my go-to advice on something so big and generic and broad on a question like that is to go make some content today. And go and share your work and your ideas and your thinking and your point of view and who you are, because it helps you to find your voice. And when you establish your voice, you build community around what you do, and you gain authority and esteem in people's eyes. I think I don't think this is too bold for me to say, but I suspect I'm on this conference with you, Ryan, because if I had like 200 followers on Instagram, you'd be like, who's this joker? Sure. Get out of here.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Maybe.
Very cool.
Yeah. You know, so the only reason why you and I are talking, and why maybe some people want to hear me have something to say, is because I've been out there producing content since 2014, probably now over 1,000 videos on YouTube, 1.2 million subscribers, over 500,000 followers on Instagram. It's because you got to show up. And like everyone, the first few things that you do, probably the first year, we'll call it year one, your rookie year, your content's going to suck. It's going to suck. It's going to be bad. It's going to feel derivative of other people's work, and that it's going to feel heavily influenced by somebody you look up to. But if you keep at it, you keep working on it, you keep getting better and changing and evolving, it starts to take on its own thing, and it becomes your thing, and you grow and learn through that experience. So get through that first year without too many expectations. And if you're going to expect something, expect it to suck. Expect no one to care. And then be delighted when someone actually cares, and then just keep going. That's it.
Chris, thank you so much. Last question real quick before we wrap up. It's essentially just a yes or no question, but I was talking to Tom Ross the other day, and he told me that you reply to every DM. Is that true?
Yes.
There you go. You heard it first. Follow-up question to that real quick. How much time are you spending actually engaging with your own community? Because myself, building my own community, like, it is a lot of work, and we love to do it, right? But obviously, you still got to run a business. You still got to kind of keep the wheels turning. So like, how much time are you dedicating to yourself and your personal 24 hours per day to give back to people through that sort of engagement?
Yeah. I only take care of my community twice a day.
Okay.
In the AM and in the PM. That's all.
Love it.
I'm just messing out with you. My entire job is my community.
Yeah.
You do understand that. So I don't run the business at all. That's Mr. Ben Burns' job. Like he makes sure everyone's fed and paid, and I just keep hiring people to do all those jobs. And what I do is in reading the comments and responding to them, I get a sense and a feeling for what works, what doesn't work, what the questions are, where we misstepped, and where there's opportunities for us to grow. But I also find that by talking to people, that's one of the strongest ways to build a relationship. So I get this question a lot in the DMs. They're like, is this you, a robot, an intern? Who is this? And I'm like, it's me. They prove it. I did. I just answer really short. If somebody writes you back like 4 paragraphs, it's not me. I have very short answers because I have very little time. It's just, that's the function of it. So that's how you know it's me.
Yeah, nice little validation there. Chris, thanks so much for joining us. Yeah, we really appreciate your time, and hopefully we can see you at another year at Front Row.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Congratulations. And you made it through all the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
And thank you everyone for tuning in and hanging out with us.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Chris. All right, guys,
Okay, take
everybody
care.
watching, make sure you use the hashtag FrontRow2021 and at Pitchproof if you're sharing on social. I'm sure Chris will be sure to share some of those on his social, and we share all of them that come through. But yeah, guys, stick around because in about an hour's time to an hour and a half, we've got T Tran, who's one of the first employees and senior designer at a startup called Pitch. Who have been backed by the founders of like Zoom and Instagram, and she's going to be giving a talk on what it's like being a remote designer for a big early stage startup like that, and how they build culture through a remote setting. So stay tuned for that. There'll be links on the Discord. If you guys are not on the Discord, you should be on the Discord because everything is there. That's how we communicate together as a community. But yeah, apart from that, I hope you guys enjoyed this session from Chris, and we'll catch you on the next one.